Hello everyone, welcome on in. My voice just cracked. What the hell? 40 going on 14. What the fuck? I just killed that. Jay. We are very silly right now. I don't know why.
I just woke up. That's a vibe. Roll with it.
It's a vibe. Yes. Hello, we're back with some more Rails of Mourning, our Eberron Noir campaign. At least I tried to make it noir. It's noir, at least some of the points. The part where the protagonists are not heroes is definitely noir.
When you're on campus as your barbarian, you know you're in trouble.
I mean, it depends on how you want to define compass.
I mean, I generally point and smack. That's how a compass works, right?
Yeah.
Mostly,
I'm not so sure about the smack, but the rest, absolutely.
So yes, we are back with some more fun stuff, and I want to thank everyone who came out on Friday for our Guild Wars stream. That was a lot of fun. For those who missed it, I played Guild Wars 2 with Terris. My character is very small. Like, very small.
And I play a rotating cast of characters, so...
And Terris, among other things, played Santa Claus, wearing red Speedos and sandals.
Yes.
Speedos were quite small.
Yes.
For someone who's never played or watched any Guild Wars, and hearing that, not what I was expecting.
I will get you a screenshot if you like, my friend.
Yes, please. Because when I think Guild Wars, I think some sort of like medieval like fighting kind of game.
Sort of.
Quite.
It's meant
sort
to
of
be?
It's a fantasy MMO. So
yeah, so
also known as Fashion Wars, though. Like
yes.
Okay.
So I play in the game. It's basically a goblin, and I made my goblin as small as possible. Turns out that if the Solstice Sage, which is Terris's Santa character, stands like when you load into a scene, everyone pops up in the same place, which is fine because my goblin can stand in the V of Santa's legs with space to spare.
Wow.
I will whack this in the game time chat.
Yes,
so everyone
please.
can marvel at Santa.
So yes,
my God.
there will be more Guild Wars in the future. Hair, cat. Yes, I have one of them. But before I derail too much,
That
let's do
made
the whole.
things no way, shape, or form better. No, it didn't.
I can't click on that one because that will upset the cameras. I know how Santa looks though. I've seen Santa breakdance.
He has some real moves.
Yes, he does.
It gives it a whole new meaning to Jingle Bells.
Yep. And
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
yes.
It is to be devoutly wished that you
Yes.
would kiss
Okay,
me
so
under the-
music you're listening to right now hopefully is City Walk by John Patitucci from the YouTube library. Sound effects and sounds during the game will be by Sirenscape. The map overlay and the starting student screen were made by me in Incarnate. Our beautiful character art, including the DM one over there, was made by Nat. You can find his stuff here and on our Discord because we have one of them. If you want to catch up with the campaign and want to see the stuff you've missed, you can head over to our YouTube. And if you want to see what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can type in ! perks in the chat. I also want to say hi to Tony and Gas, who came in to say hi. I hope you enjoyed today's session. let's go around the. I did this in the wrong order, so I'm a little bit confuddled. But let's go around the party, introduce ourselves and our characters. Let's start with Andy. Who are you and who you play?
I have no idea what you're talking about. These are all allegations. I was dead at the time. I'm Andy, and I'm playing Craren, the slightly deranged wizard who is trying to do things that make sense, at least to him, but he has no idea what we're doing.
All right. Terris.
Indeed. Hello, I'm Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Today I will be playing Eberron Weaver, the albino drow bard who has a bit of a shady background and sometimes shows up as Nana Knits. And I'm not going to give any context on what that is.
For context to what that is, check out the VODs on the YouTube channel. Yes, shameless plug. Psycole. Also, there's a cat on Psycole's screen, so you should check that out. There's a cat.
That's just currently cleaning herself appropriately behind me.
Yep.
Doing her ablutions. It's fine.
In front of a picture by now, actually. Hello, shoulder cat. Who am I? I'm Psycole. I am playing Remus Dawn, one half of the Kalashtar twins. Occasionally also referred to as Remus Door because of his weird fetish for doors.
One particular door.
One particular door. It has a secret passage. Sorry.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
I didn't do that. I did do that.
You did do that. And Nat, who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Nathan. I play. Who do I play? Romulus. I play Romulus, apparently. Doldorn, the Kalashtar Hexblade Warlock, and the other twin of the Kalashtar duo. Yeah.
Nice,
Who
nice.
are you people, and where is my horse?
You have mules, there's no horse here. And hi, I am Ardana, or Joe, or Oi, you there, if a majority of my players have any say in it, apparently. I am the GM and
Not
channel
me.
runner around here. And I lost my train of thought, so let's get started.
I'm sorry.
I was about to say, no, horse. That was in the city we just left.
Duckies, I thought that was Lilith for half a second. I was like, then I was reminded that she's in Finland.
That's why I played them, to make you feel like she was here.
Aw, thank you. Oh yeah.
We miss you and love you, Lilith.
Yes! Miss you, Lilith! Hope you have fun. I also made the character stat sheets in Incarnate. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, let's get started.
Yeah.
Where is my everything? I have no
I
control.
ate it. I was hungry.
What am I doing? That am I doing?
Astarian, that is not for eating. That is my. Okay, eat it. I don't care.
Wait a minute, Astarian. What pet is Astarian? I don't remember there ever being an Astarian pet.
Astarian is a Nelly 1-year-old ferret.
Okay. I don't remember ever hearing about Astarian. I thought I would just ask the question. Carry on. Sorry to derail.
It's fine.
So-
Alright. Soft
We are
fla-
considering. Sorry.
You're
Good.
considering what?
We are considering trying to get Neil Newman to voice some clips of him doing ferrety things.
Oh yeah, he has a Cameo account.
Mm-hmm. We are considering it. We think it would be
That would
very
be
fun.
amazing. That would be so much fun. Alright. Preventing somewhat derailing stuff. Why are you so quiet?
So sorry.
Escape?
My brain is not awake.
That is fine. That's the thing that happens.
Sit.
Sirenscape
That's
just
right.
crashed. Why?
It's me. Technology hates me.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, kitty.
There it is. Now we're cooking. Soft flakes of cold are the only reminder of the heavy snowfall of the past few hours. The sky is painted in icy pastels to the west. To the east lies the vast frozen vistas of Darkwater? Blackwater? Why didn't I write down the bloody name on the... Sorry.
Water.
Insert
Lake.
nondescript body of water that we may or may
Blackwater
not be
Lake.
passing.
I just wrote lake. Blackwater Lake. The large environmental obstacle that you are currently trying to round. In front of you is the ruins of a homestead, fishing area, something where people once lived. Remus, looking around you, you are once again reminded of the fact that the only reason why you're not currently shivering where you're sitting is the cube in Claren's pocket.
The cube.
And seeing the snow around you, the piles soft, like gently covering broken stone and a half-sunken skiff. It is very far to the nearest settlement. You are days away from Patraken. You are a couple of days away from the other fishing village you are heading to the north. And as you look around, you don't see any movement aside from far, far off towards the northwest. You can see that kind of smoky snow of something large or many someones moving at speed through the landscape. That is not what to catch your immediate attention, though. Looking from that snow smoke kind of fog movement out of the corner of your eye draws your attention towards the lake, and you can see something shifting, moving in the broken up ice and the shards littering the short pier. And you can hear the crunching of ice and snow as in a whirlwind something is forming.
No.
What do you do?
I will step in front of everybody. And reach out with his mind to see whether or not he can sense anything that he could. It's a 30-foot radius, I believe, to see whether or not he can sense anything other than the three people and the donkeys behind him.
Okay. What are the requirements for your mind linky thing?
Mind linky thingy. Link. You can speak telepathically to any creature you can see, providing the creature within a number of feet of you equal to 10 times your level. So it's actually 50 feet. So
nice.
You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
Okay.
So I suppose technically I need to, rather than cast out with the mind, I need to direct it towards the swirl and kind of say, hello.
You, in your mind, directing it towards the swirl, something clicks in your mind. And you get the sensation of curiosity and territorial protectiveness.
Oh no.
And it's not so much words. There is a language there. And for a brief moment, you get a feeling in your mind before it translates properly of deep water, of moving waterfalls and stones shattering from pressure of liquid. And then it translates to, who are you? Why are you here?
We are merely travelling around the lake's edge, from the town to the south, to the fishing village to the northern edge of the lake.
Traveling. Moving. My space here.
Your space is in directly near this jetty? Or do you claim more land around this space that we should fall for to?
My space is the water.
The lake in its entirety?
No. This water. And you see the swirl start taking it more and more of a shape. And becoming like an amalgamation of shards of ice, of snow, and of lake water. Forming into a 8-foot-tall column of just swirling. You know, the kind of slush you can see in a small creek in spring? That's basically what you see. And it's facing you, if the swirl can be said to have a face. You.
So, your territory is you. How much space outside of you do you claim?
This. And trying to play this out, because this thing has less of an intelligence score than Yannis.
Okay.
So I'm trying to game like how much does this know measurements? Probably not.
It's fair.
It has a language, but let me actually move you to this one, to what you see.
We might know measurements and a number of other things, but does that even have to mean that units of measurements, passage of time, whatever it may be, does that even have to make sense for humanoid-esque things? Just saying.
It swirls a bit and sways slightly back and forth. You can see jagged bits flying in and out of the water jet, and then it throws arms out as if to point, and says 3 trees north, 2, 3 south, and a day out into the water, or light cycle into the water.
And you do not wish to have anyone trespass upon your territory.
No.
Are there others like you within the lake?
There are some of us. We are given gifts to leave travelers alone.
What type of gifts do you accept?
Thinks for a moment and looking you all over. Something interesting. Sparkling. Shiny. Or special.
I turn my head to look at Romulus, and then kind of say, "It's an opportunity." Yeah, he would. Yes, he would. It's an opportunity to remove that weasel from your presence.
I would die for that thing.
Honestly, I thought you were going to suggest a sword for a minute there, but then you said the weasel, and I was like, no. No.
Okay. I will turn back to the water weird of some sort, I assume. Actually, so can I... does he recognise what type of creature this could be, or given that there's multiple ones in the lake, would there have been any local stories that we would have picked up at all previously?
From your travels, I'd say... Give me a history check. Low DC.
I mean, I have a -1 for a 0.
No.
Opening strong.
Alright.
That's certainly a word for it.
It looks like a water thing. And you, from your travels, you know of elementals. So it might be a water elemental, but you have no idea what kind. None whatsoever. And you have no idea what they can do.
Gran.
I will just turn to it and go, excuse me whilst I converse with my friends.
If not friend, why friend-shaped?
Exactly. Fran.
Just sorry, before I ask that question, if we were to leave, do you require payment?
Yes. You walk my land.
Fair enough. Excuse me 1 second, and I
You
will
did a little
turn
bad, isn't it?
to my colleagues, and I will verbally say to them, "The shit wants us to pay. He has land. The shit wants us to pay for us to travel through his land. He wants something shiny or something special.
Coins are shiny.
Coins are shiny.
Let me see what I've got.
However, I am very conscious of the fact that at some point there will be a large majority of travel going through this lake, and we may wish to establish a certain rapport with the dwellers of the lake to make sure that they do not interfere with traffic towards the village." At which point, my 8 intelligence brain is now going to go and sit there and sit quietly. Because they should not have concluded that altogether.
Without looking closer into the situation, Carnis is going to ponder to himself, but I wonder if these guys have a form of society, if we can bribe them, and if with what? Because coins they are not going to use.
Oren is going to pull out a mirror, which is in his inventory. I've got this.
Who are you showing it to?
It's
Remus or?
he's just pulled it out. I
Okay.
think he probably would show it to the elemental, actually. Will this work?
Sorry. Remus would turn and connect with the water elemental of some sort and go, my friend offers this mirror.
Oren, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion? That is a +6. Let me find.
Would Cryon have any reasonable idea to know what this entity may be?
You can give me an Arcana
So
or
that
History.
should be a 20.
You haven't updated it yet?
No, I forgot.
That's fine.
Why does Cryon roll on things that are hi, this is merely a curiosity? God damn it. Oh well, 23.
The
in
dice
you,
work.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Craren, looking at this thing made out of ice shards, snow, and cold water, you recall in your studies that this is a water elemental. It's not a water weird. Those have less of an intelligence and are usually bigger. But from what you can recall, elementals aren't native to this plane. With a 23, which is a ridiculous roll, you know that they're not native to the material plane. They belong in the elemental plane of water. And they usually congregate or meet up in places where, or form in places with heavy magical influence or elemental rifts. Or, both. Oren, as you you show the mirror to the elemental, you see it sway slightly, and then a long, extended branch of ice shards reaches forward, wraps around the mirror and your hand is instantly chilled. When you put your hand into an ice box?
Yes.
And it's gonna take the mirror from you and hold it up and twist it back and forth. And you can see the light of the setting sun reflecting slightly and dancing off the snow around you. Gift.
Yes.
Accepted.
Oh, good.
Your group can pass my lands unimpeded by me.
Good to know.
Remus would. I assume that you're translating because what you're hearing, Oren, is basically a
Rough sound.
sound.
In my
Yeah.
head, I just picture it as if someone was gargling.
It's,
a Chewbacca.
yeah, it's basically imagine gargling
Drain.
with
Drain
break
in the bathtub.
cracking ice and that. It's
Or if you've ever been close to a waterfall.
yeah, it's like a weird
Those
combination
exist.
of all those
Oh dear.
elements of it. But Remus, in your head, you hear what I just said, because I don't remember what I said. and it seems to not shrink, but it moves backwards towards the water again, holding this mirror and is shifting it back and forth. You see the, blips of sunlight dancing across the snow as it moves away from you.
Well, I won't be able to see around corners anymore, but I think that's all right.
As you may have guessed, Oren, he accepts the payment of the mirror. Is there anything else we need to worry about when it comes to this water thingy? Spout?
Let me check.
Water elemental.
Oh, definitely a water elemental, nothing like a weird ice slushy mint tea thing.
It could have been, but not this one in particular now.
And is it likely to cause us any problems with later?
Statistically now, they are quite simple-minded. If they have what they want, they will normally leave people alone because they normally don't interact with people. It's only if they are disturbed, and Data seems to have accepted our offering, so things should be fine for now.
Okay. Well, we better make sure that we inform. It's been so long since. Is it Darius is our boss? Oh,
Derek.
GM. Derek.
Yes.
We better inform Derek that there are elementals in the lake, and therefore he may require. We may need. Once we establish the station and trade picks up, they might need to be dealt with. But it's not really our specialty. And shiny shit. We'll sort them out for now.
Yeah.
All right. With the current threat, see what I did there, of the water. I just saw the lights just go out in Psychole's eyes, and it was beautiful.
That's just dad jokes. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm the dad here.
And
I'm the daddy now.
I was about to say something highly inappropriate.
and the mules having indicated that they are reaching an exhaustion point because having had to drag you through the thickening snow. And they indicated that this is a good place to camp. What would you guys like to do? Do you want to continue on? Do you want to explore the waters?
Go for it.
Explore the waters. Yeah, let's go for a swim.
Let's not.
I hear ice swimming is healthy. If you're insane.
I can imagine if you went swimming with your cube. Not that the rest of us would appreciate it, but if you went swimming with your cube, it would probably be a reasonably nice time, right?
If he went swimming with that cube in the current weather, Oren would be clinging onto his back to stay warm.
And while the air would be 35 degrees, the water would not be.
Yeah. I was about to
It
say, yeah,
is-
it is nice to have a warm thing in your hand. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, have you ever been to a lake that has its own horizon?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a lake that has its own horizon. Like, looking at this lake, from where you're currently standing, you cannot see the beach to the north, south, or east.
Well, fuck.
It's a big ass lake. So a tiny little cube, while it keeps the air warm, it's not gonna warm the entire lake. And the water,
Bollocks.
while frozen here, is still moving underneath.
Yeah, let's not go swimming. Let's
Again.
not and say we
Skating,
did.
however.
Again, quick dip, come up, the air would still be 35 degrees, so you would warm up pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah, but there is still the problem that my nuts would be the size of raisins. No, thank you.
Also fair.
And you will never ever see them again.
Mhm. I do not need my dongle inverted, thank you.
Coldest I've ever
I
swam in was
cast
8
inverted
degrees, and I am fine keeping it at that.
Yes. So there's no wishing to interact with the water and no skinny dipping from Oren. Then I'm assuming it might be best to make camp and possibly a bit further away from the water's edge, because I don't quite think we agreed that the mirror was payment for camping on its land, just traversing its land. So we should move back a little bit further into the.
That too, but at the same time, there may be this place might have, and you will be shocked, weather.
What?
And in the event that weather should happen, we might want to be further inland, because I don't want to have a gale of this water in my face.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I think was this a bit of a village-esque thing, or was it just like a couple of buildings and a jetty?
From what you looking around, from what you can tell, it was probably 2 buildings at the jetty. So probably a fisherman lived here at some point, but everything has just been abandoned and collapsed.
I think Remus will walk around to find the most intact of the building, or the most, or kind of like if there is a handful of walls that are standing that could form a bit of a windbreak, so that we can then try to set up a bit of a camp inside at least some partial walls.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a perception or investigation. It's mostly just to, you're trying to find a windbreak, and not just snow piles. So again, DC is not very high.
Using perception, because I'm not using investigation. I'm not rolling a 0 again.
Fair enough. With the perception, you don't even have to dig all that deep to eventually find that the main building, where the hearth was, the stone walls that made up that section of the building, is basically the only thing still standing, and it's maybe like 1.5 meters of still standing walls. It will make for a good windbreak for the tents, but it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not like an extravagant shelter. And you will still have to clear out a bit of snow to get as close to the walls as possible.
Yeah, so he'll start working on that.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can lend a hand.
Yeah, Aaron would help.
Looks like Jason shares Remus' sentiment. All
I
right.
like the fact that we have no shovels in that sense.
Oh, Aaron is definitely prestidigitating snow and shit out the way.
We discussed this last week. We had a whole conversation about different techniques for snow clearance. We had prestidigitation. We had a torch using a wind from prestidigitation to create like a flamethrower effect. We had you walking around with your tube.
Yep.
We had all sorts.
Okay.
That is true, but there was more of a pondering bits of when we were buying equipment. We were getting rations, and we got mules, and we got carts, and a number of other things. But not one of us had a bright idea to, There may or may not in this snowy area be, I don't know, snow.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, the thought didn't occur to me.
I also think the Bastion has the only shovel that you got from Derek.
Yes, entirely possible.
Did he not give that to us? Because he gave me the magic map and sending stone. I've got
I
Tinker's
think it's
Sword.
funnier if you didn't just fuck you
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
I'm keeping
let's
that.
just go with that. It's brilliant.
I mean, Jason can reply, he's in chat. But, yeah.
I'm mildly concerned going through my inventory, and I've just remembered where we got them from. I've got handcuffs, silk rope handcuffs. Like, where did I get them from? Oh, I remember.
Aaron is interested now. Just you've got what now? I didn't think you would have thought, but
All right.
my estimation of you has gone up, basically.
To be fair, they were used on Remus.
Goodness.
Jason,
Well,
this
you
this happened whilst you were there. Oh no, it happened whilst you were there, but whilst you couldn't get a roll to wake up.
Oh.
Oh
And
no.
I only asked
I can't.
Bastion to roll for perception because his passive was so low. And then he rolled worse.
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
it takes you like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to completely clear the area of snow.
Hello,
And
everyone, and welcome to BDSMND.
for those interested in that avenue, on the
Nothing.
YouTube channel, we have a one-shot called The Curse of Hearts.
Oh shit.
In which there is a pet mimic that really likes to be looted.
Yes, and she's adorable.
Yes, Chet is.
And Sir Benedict Dover adores her. She's with him all the time.
Yes, Chet is
Bendover
amazing.
for short, mind you.
Yes.
I
love-
was concerned where my brain went because I was just wondering about sentient gimp masks. As cursed objects, and now I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
Well, I think in Mask, I just think Tokyo Ghoul.
I am
have
reminded about that
concerns.
mimic every time I listen to the current season of Critical Role. Because the mimic's name is Chet. Anyway, back to this
Back to this campaign.
campaign.
This universe.
You set up your tents. The air is nice and cozy, if a little bit odd. The ground is still a bit frozen, though it starts to thaw towards the end, thanks to the efforts of flame cantrips and the cube.
Collective body heat and frustration.
Yes, that too, because I hate snow.
Ooh.
Love snow. Love snow. Hate shoveling it. Broke my shoulder shoveling snow. Anyway,
No.
I hate an bit of ice with the shovel and shoulder went clink and meh. sprained it.
No.
Anyway, you are currently somewhat protected from the winds from the lake, which are playing nice at the moment. You can from time to time see a small they're not called dust devils when we're talking about snow, but like a tiny little whirlwind that moves through it, kicks up some snow, and settles down again.
Like a flurry.
Yes, thank you.
Drifts and eddies.
But about 1.5 meters of walls give you a nice shelter. Also, as you were clearing up the area, you found what looked like what once upon a time had been a trap door.
No.
Trap door.
What?
Trap door.
What?
Sorry, I'm just distracted by Twitch chat.
Your Twitch trap?
All right then.
Yes, I think I would attempt to open said trapdoor.
All right. Give me an athletics check.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and for no apparent reason, you much like I'll give you this one. You had to wait for us with the door. You go ahead.
It strains a little bit as you pull on it, but the combination of age and the ground starting to thaw where you're standing makes it, if not easy, but manageable. And you manage to get the trapdoor open. Fuck's. There's a cat here in my throat.
Oh,
There's
no.
a cat next to me.
You manage to get the trapdoor open, and you look inside, and from what you can tell, most of the space has caved in over time. And but from what you can find, it looks like it was a storage area, like a root cellar of some kind. And it's not spacious. You gather that probably all four of you could fit in here in a pinch, but you would have to be standing. And while you won't be sardined into it, it's not a whole lot of space. And it's kind of awkward with the way that the dirt has fallen in, and whatever remained of the stone walls lay scattered along the ground.
Does that look as though there could be anything interesting from a cursory glance? Or is it just an empty storage space?
Give me a perception check, since you're just doing a cursory glance.
Could you imagine if this was the other half of that room from the door?
You do find a bunch of like
And in 60 episodes, we're a wandering hotel.
With a cursory glance, you do find a couple of bags what looks like frozen root vegetables, like carrots, turnips. A little bit limp, but surprisingly good condition. Like, put them in water for a day and they will be perfectly fine.
Okay. I'll just make note that there is weird provisions beneath us. And
with a 22, I'd also say that given that the state of the building, the state of the cellar, and the fact that there are fresh produce in here, it's probably a drop-off of some sort.
I will climb out of said trapdoor
Mhm.
and basically say, say to everybody, so there's some provisions down there, given that it was fairly well hidden. We might get some company at some point soon.
Well, so long as we don't steal their stuff, I don't see why that would be a problem. What kind of provisions did you say?
Frozen vegetables. Not the type. Not like. Yeah, I was going to make a Bernard Matthews reference. Don't worry, Karen. Some frozen produce.
Ah.
Just needs
All right.
a bit of defrosting for use.
Huh.
So what
I'm
Oren
trying
is,
to
is
decide-
really trying to say is, so no mud cakes.
No, I think Aaron is just now trying to decide whether he'd go down there and see if there are any carrots for the donkeys.
There would be. Remus, you would know that there are some carrots down there, but it's up to you if you want to say that or not.
Nope, just produce. Mostly because I don't really fancy defrosting carrots for the donkeys when there's perfectly good food on that. Trade it for.
Oh, good boy.
All right.
Excellent.
So
Sorry, I have a cat in my lap.
that is fair enough. I still have the cat hair in my throat. It's very annoying.
There's
Makes
an angry cat in the hallway.
That's what drinks are for, Adana.
I've downed half of this and I can't get the bloody hair to get dislodged. I think the hair is now gone, but it's still irritated.
Honey.
Yeah, I have.
We have brought the donkeys in from the wind as well, right? So we're basically sharing the space with the donkeys. But
Yeah. And they would help, like, not that you actually need it, but they would help heat up the place a bit with their body heat. But since mules are not that big, they are somewhat sheltered as well, where you're standing.
So I'll say there is some room down there if you wish to sleep around, but for the most part, it's just standing room only. Small amount of produce. I think we're quite okay up here if we kind of put the tents and the tarps up and.
Yes.
I'd say if someone wants to sleep down there, it's gonna be kind of a pretzel situation. Or sitting up and sleeping.
No. Oh, you see, Aaron curls up like a cat.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
chiropractor would make a lot of money out of that.
It's folding your laundry with the people still inside.
Yes. So,
Isn't that like Taekwondo?
I mean, goes
same
both
guard
ways.
situation as before.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'd like.
To kind of start dream whilst the lovely elves keep watch.
All right. So, Oren and Kraren, please give me a perception
damn it.
checks.
I mean, it's better than what it
That's
could
a
have been.
22.
All right.
Electric Boogaloo.
Let me have a look. Perception is
Um,
+4, so yes.
during your watch, Kraren, it's almost like everywhere you look, something is moving, something is twitching, shadows seems to be extending. You can hear the creaking of the ice from the lake. It's like the air is shifting back and forth. And you can hear the crackling of the trees as frost keeps breaking
You're sharp,
the bark.
Cat. Ow.
Yeah. Cat likes to do that.
Yeah. Suddenly there was a cat hanging from my arm.
Yeah. But
Sorry about
other
that.
than making you a slightly unease. And now he's coming in here. Peace son. Hi. Other than making you slightly uneasy, that's the one. Nothing eventful really happens.
Yeah, boring night.
Oren,
Yes.
you wake up to a clear sky. Hello, you come out of your trance to an absolutely clear sky. You can see the aurora-ish thing? No, it's not an aurora. I was about to say the Milky Way. Wrong material plane. But, like, you can see galaxies around you in the sky. Again, best way to describe it. And you can see, like, far off in the distance, high up into the sky, the moving dots. There are the other planes, like the planets moving. And then towards the end, like towards the mid-end of your watch, you hear crunching of feet, trying to be quiet, moving towards your group. There are, with a 21 perception, you can hear several feet being
Okay.
very good at being quiet in the snow, but having not acclimated, customized yourself with the sounds of this area for a couple of hours. That's definitely not the sound of wildlife. It's boots
Does he
on
see
snow.
these people? Does he see these people?
As you look around, again with the 21, you can see what looks like, with 120 feet. Let me see. Give me a line. Roll 20. Stop being a dick. Yeah, so you're 30 feet from the shoreline, and you can see them coming up from the jetty.
Okay.
A group of 4, all like covered in cloaks and fur-lined coats.
Okay. Do they look like they are trying to sneak toward us and our fire, or do they just look like they're trumping up here?
You can tell from the way they move, they're trying to be quiet. So you're not entirely sure if they are. You're not sure about their intentions, but they're trying to not be discovered.
In that case, Oren will gently poke awake the others, and just to tell them, look, there's a situation, not sure exactly what it is, but be ready, keep your weapons at hand. I'm going to make contact, so if they don't think that we're trying to surprise them, and we'll see how it goes, but just be aware. And he's just going to then turn on his bullseye lantern, so there's a bit more light, because it's a pinprick out. It shouldn't really affect his vision too much.
Yeah.
He's holding it out to one side, and with his other, so he's sort of trying to half illuminate himself so they can see him a bit more clearly without blinding himself, and he's just going to wave, just go, hello, travelers. We are not here to cause any problems. We're just having a nap before we move on.
All right, I'm gonna move these guys. Token layer.
For a second,
You
I thought
are-
that was you talking in character. And it was just the character. All right.
Yep, you are welcome
Good
to
to know.
our fire. If you would like.
One of them steps forward and like rises up from like a more crouched, like hunched position to full length, and just relaxes as if just. And you hear from behind like a scarf covering their face. You hear a rather young female voice. Just, well, that's a shame. You found us. Well, saw us. What you doing
I have
here?
very good night vision. We're traveling past the lake, not wanting any trouble. But if you're bringing it, we will respond in kind.
All right. Give me a persuasion or intimidation check.
He is persuading. He is a lover, not a fighter. That is 7.
Oh.
Do I have the lucky feat by any chance? Give me a second.
You should have inspiration from last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bounced it.
I'm gonna re-roll that bitch.
I wonder
'Cause-
why.
Yeah!
26.
Hey.
Well, a 26. That's a net 20 for a 26.
Yeah.
That was a nat 1, and then a nat 5, and then a nat 20.
Yep.
That's amazing.
The woman takes a step towards you, standing like at ease, and just look. Right. Didn't see a short guy about yay high. She indicates a height that's about the same height as your shelter. Pass by.
Just, not that I saw, no.
All right.
If we were to find this individual, what would you like us to tell him or her?
Well, his name is. Actually, I don't know. Just call him Dan. Let's call him Dan.
Okay, Dan.
He's one of them stout folks from the roar holes, a dwarf. Just
Okay.
roughly like me. A little bit more. A little shinier, maybe. If you run into him, he's about yay high, just like me. Dark brown hair, missing an eye. If you see him, Dara wants her information. Just saying.
Dara wants her information.
Yeah.
Understood.
He was supposed to drop it here, so we thought you or him.
Well, no. Unfortunately not, but
You haven't.
maybe because no, I haven't seen anyone. It's not a water elemental, I think one of my party said it was. Over by the lake, so watch out for that, but otherwise nah.
Oh yeah. So that was. Right.
Yeah.
She did tell me to bring something sparkly and throw it in the water.
Yeah,
I
I
just
gave
sold
him
a
a mirror.
sparkly, so good luck, I guess.
What's sparkly?
She gave us a like this plate thing with some gems on it.
Oh, that sounds pretty.
It's like a brooch thing. Fetched a pretty
yeah,
penny.
yeah, I gave. You sold it?
Yeah, it was valuable. It's not gonna throw that in the
well.
lake.
That's it. I mean, it took a mirror from us, so.
Good to know. I have something else. If we run into whatever it is, elemental thing, water thing, spout thing.
Yeah. My mates are gonna probably sleep for a couple more hours. But I'm starting on breakfast. I mean, I could throw a bit more on the pot if you're interested in some porridge.
I could eat. She turns to
Alright.
the rest of the group, and you hear a sort of and the fire won't be too bad. So
Yeah, it's nice and warm here.
yeah,
Just let my mates sleep though, yeah?
yeah,
We've
sure.
had some long travel.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, if you
And
don't
if
mind.
you guys want a nap, I'm taking watch, so.
I hope you excuse me, but you're strangers.
Of course, yeah. But when we go, we'll leave the fire up for you, and you guys can rest, and we'll head out, and you can watch us leave, so you know we're gone.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep, they gather near the fire, and you see after like 5 minutes, they start like hoods off, scarves down, like starting to unbuckle the coats. Just
Yeah, it's a good fire, right?
that's a really good fire. Ugh.
So it's a tiny fire, but it's warm.
Yeah, it's like
Quality fire right there.
one of the other three, a young man, maybe 20, early 20s. It's like he had wrapped the scarf around his head and all the way around. He still has the scarf over it, like hanging. It's like, hey, my back isn't even cold.
Yeah, it's a pretty good fire. Yeah. So, have you guys ever tried cinnamon in your porridge?
No. It's not. Do we look like people who can afford cinnamon?
Just, I guess not. And he's gonna pull out of his pocket his magical item and sprinkle some cinnamon into this porridge that he's doing. Some other mixed spice blends that would be very nice with the porridge if they've got any. He'll throw some dried apples in, like he's making a show of making a simple but very nice breakfast.
Oh yeah. You're putting cinnamon in porridge. It's gonna be real nice.
Yes. And apple if they've got any.
Yeah, they have a couple of like dried apple slices in their rations, so
yeah. So he'll throw that in. Just
yeah.
This should be pretty good.
Okay. A few hours, well, a few minutes actually would be. Like porridge doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Let's say about an hour after you start making the setting everything up, making the porridge. The rest of you wake up to voices you don't recognize, and Oren happily conversing with these voices you don't recognize.
He did warn you. He did give you a warning that there might have been a situation.
Morning.
Yeah, you did check
up,
if they
morning,
woke
guys.
up.
Right. I mean, he did poke them.
Yeah.
Remus will instantly connect with Oren's mind and say, "What the fudge muppet?"
We got some friends that came by in the night. They're looking for another friend, for some information, but we're not them, so...
So you invited them for breakfast?
It's at
That-
this point it would be hilarious where Aaron would be going. So this is Kenny and James and Lars and then it's but
Actually, I think that might be exactly what he does.
mhm.
But it's all right. They're friends now. Also, breakfast is ready.
Okay. So having spent some time, like almost an hour with this group, you have noticed that all of them seem to be half elves of some variety or other.
Excellent.
And aside from what looks to be the leader, who gave her name as... Where did I put her name? I have too many notes exactly everywhere.
Did I avoid your combat?
No.
Okay.
So
The answer is yes.
All
but
encounters I plan can be social, combat, or exploration, or a combination of all of them, depending on your choices.
not what I was getting at. This was a combat.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out to be, but
It could very easily have been.
It's still good because Remus has not had coffee.
True.
I think there is a pot of coffee slowly bubbling on the fire as well.
Yep.
By the way,
So,
if he knows Remus likes them.
the leader of this group introduced herself as Ari,
Harry?
and her companions Paul, Corey, and Tyr.
Full Corey and Tia.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would introduce them all around.
Is Tia
From-
missing a
yeah.
hand?
2 R's. And yeah, you also get the very clear sensation or feeling that these are not their real names, they're just the names they go by.
That's fine. Who's to say Oren is Oren's real name?
Exactly.
Maybe he's actually Nana Nits.
So yeah.
No, that's just the name he uses for the newsletter on Yarncraft that he sends out. We're fine.
Yes, we're fine.
Yes.
So, having had breakfast with this quartet of strangers, you get a clear impression that while sneaky and dressed to be not noticed during night times, they seem to be friendly. They seem to be interested in what you're doing, asking some questions. Paul, the young man with the scarf hanging on his head, very fascinated by the concept of cinnamon on porridge, because that's expensive. While Ari is more of a, well, since you offered, I'm not gonna say no, but it's not something I would pay for.
That's fair.
And
In the light of day, does it look like any of them have got any sort of insignia on them or anything like that that might indicate whether or not they are part of a mercenary function and or a guild that may be out to kill Remus?
and or it's virtually the same.
Give me a perception check.
16.
With a 16, you don't find any markings that indicate they're affiliated with any particular dragon-marked house. All of them seem to have the same kind of like they had the same colors of cloak. All 4 of them are wearing a upon closer inspection dark blue cloaks of the same color of dark blue. So they seem to be like while their armors and weapons are not uniform, the cloaks are. But with a... Yeah, that's what you notice with the 16. Very nice, like, weapons. Short swords and daggers. Mainly.
Would he recognise blue cloaks as any sort of mercenary group that you might have encountered beforehand?
Give me a history check. Just to see if you remember.
13.
Not bad. You don't know any mercenary groups that have that particular, like, uniform. But you do remember hearing rumors about group of what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a criminal syndicate. Brain, knock that off. It's a group. It's basically a thieves guild that operate out of Xandrar. It's a rumor of. You remember having heard a rumor of. You haven't before this run into them yourself. That all tend to have the same kind of deep blue colors. Like either a cloaks in this case, or deep blue fabric wrapped somewhere on their bodies, like on their armor. I'd also add that you would know that that particular type of deep blue is very expensive to produce.
Okay. So whilst they're talking about, whilst Ari, I think that's what you said her name was. I've written it down as like that. Ari is talking about expense and cinnamon. I will quirk my eyebrow up even, and mentally connect to Oren and say, those cloaks are also expensive, so...
Yeah.
You see her start a little bit, just...
Oh, no, so it's a mental communication to Oren, rather than out loud.
Okay.
It's more of he's recognising her talking about expensive stuff, and then me making sure Oren is fully aware that said cloaks are also expensive.
Well, yeah, but...
How far into wine and dine are we?
You're about to wrap up.
At which point would you allow Craren to prepare spells?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that as soon as you wake up if you want.
No, as in ready it to cast.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What are you casting?
He's readying, preparing a acid chromatic orb.
Okay.
Because he doesn't believe a word of what they're saying.
All right.
Oh dear. Oren was just making friends, guys.
No. This is more of a. He knows how to. He knows what happens when you turn backs to people with daggers.
Okay, so it's basically like if they turn hostile, you turn them into acid piles. Okay.
So a really painful medical condition.
Yeah, acid pile.
This is a whole new level of heartburn.
Oh no.
All right. You watch them as you start wrapping up breakfast. You see the four of them, the three guys start like wrapping up and stepping away from the fire that is very, very warm. It's like that they start wrapping up to preserve heat, and stepping away, and you see them start like flanking out. not in an aggressive manner, but just protective. And then Ari also stands up and starts wrapping her things, and
Oh no.
looks at the four of you for a moment, and you can see like cogs clicking in her mind for a moment. And brain, can we actually
no.
work? What's there?
Oren is going to be so upset if they turn on him.
Reading the situation, you see her start wrapping up, and at all times she seems to have her hands like up and away from the dagger and short sword that are placed in her belt.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
she's looking at all of you, says, you seem like a welcoming bunch. Eyeing Craren for a moment. And then, well, going
I
from
like to think
Craren
so.
to Remus to Romulus, and then giving a slight nod to Oren.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Remus smiles really weirdly around a whole bowl of porridge.
Did you just stick a whole bowl in your mouth and try and swallow it?
Pouring.
Yeah, like it's like I'm pouring it in, and it's just like and then it's just like carrying.
And as she goes about to pull the scarf up across her face, and just, you should find my boss in Sandrar.
All right.
I think she might like you.
Would Craren know about this person?
Give me a history check.
No.
History.
Well, it wasn't. You needed to beat a 10, so
I mean,
with your background, you've never met this person, but you know, you heard the name Dara, and you know, the name that she usually goes by, which is the Huntsman in Sandrar. Never met her, never worked with or for her, but you know that she's an information broker in Sandrar.
yeah.
And then Ari pulls the scarf up over her face again, and the four of them vanish out across the ice, heading slightly northeast.
Oh, that was fun.
That was an experience. To say the least.
That was fun.
Ooh, yeah, we were on the good end of that. Their boss is dangerous.
Oh, but they're pretty friendly.
Their boss is essentially known for, let's say, if she needs information, she will kill to get information.
Oh. Oops.
Well, this is weirdly the second time I've woken up with random people in my in the same sleeping quarters as Romulus and I whilst we've been travelling, and at least this time I wasn't in handcuffs.
I mean, that's also true.
That is
And-
very true.
And as someone is feeding the cat, as I'm going to say that we can take the liberty and say that as they are traveling away, Craren is just going to direct this chromatic orb into the snow because it's no longer needed.
I mean, we're kind of going to be following them for a while, so this could be an
And it's also
interesting
fair.
check.
It's also fair, but they will be far ahead before we have unpacked and packed donkeys and all the other jazz. So,
On that note, whose turn is it to pack the cart?
I was
I'll
gonna say, Craren, if you don't want to waste that spell, you can roll a intelligence check using your spellcasting modifier to see if you can just bring it back in.
you mean the spellcasting, the attack bonus? Because the modifier isn't necessarily listed in that sense. It as a separate stat.
Roll an intelligence check and add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, that I can do that. So
Yeah.
24,
You need to beat the 20.
Yay.
close enough.
So yeah, it was a high DC, but with some effort, you managed to just
Unacidify
Yeah.
the bits.
you like it's basically a careful backtracking out of the whole weaving of the power of the spell. And
That's
then some moments of meditation to just bring that, for lack of a better term, power back to yourself, because it takes effort to cast spells. All right. So, who's packing up the donkeys or mules?
I'll help.
So while we're packing, Craren will also continue to divulge that we want to make contact with their boss. Yes, she's as lethal as they come, but she sits on information, and by information that means influence, and we need all of the positive influence we can get.
So it was a
serves
good
for a
thing
smooth
that I-
ride, and it serves
So-
for less daggers in your back.
So it
Both of
was
those
a
are good.
good thing I invited them to breakfast, and you're not mad at me, right?
I'm not in the slightest mad at you. I'm happy
good.
they didn't turn on us.
Right. Well, I didn't think they would. They seemed pretty friendly.
And friendly they were.
Yeah.
Now, word on the street may have it, following them, that they have run into a Brady Bunch
What?
near the lake. And that when people know that we are out here, might attract attention. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. I'm saying we might encounter more people, whether we like it or not.
Who's this Brady Bunch that
Wow.
you're talking about?
It's a bit of a long story.
Okay, gotcha.
Of a lovely lady, right?
Yes. naturally.
Sorry.
It's a story that is older than the sea.
Ah,
I'll make a start on helping pack up the cart.
Yep. It doesn't take that long. The mules are a little bit reluctant to continue trudging through the snow, but eventually they relent and you continue your day's journey. So if anyone wants to roll me a d20.
I haven't rolled anything yet today. I'll roll it.
And let me move you.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, you're streaming. You can showcase your dice, or your die, because it's singular.
Oh, yes!
Oh, is it that very cool one that he's? Oh my god, it's huge.
It is. And look at it. Like,
That's what
I
she
can
said.
roll each die on it.
What?
Oh, that is good.
So each
That is so
die
cool.
face is a die, so that you just spin and it rolls for you. I've been fidgeting
That
with it.
is so cool.
So it's a D&D dice and fidget toy.
Yes. So
I
it's
need
a fidget toy.
one. Oh my god, I need one.
I mean, if you're serious, I can link you.
I'll be curious about it. That's for sure. Maybe
Oh,
not
yeah.
in
It's
this
it's
instant,
a
but
chunky one too. It has a good heft to it. My
I
cat
like-
managed to yeet
I
it
like,
across my office, but you know.
I like fidget toys with good weight to it. Right.
I want to get one for my girlfriend. So
Okay, here you go.
All right.
I'll look into that.
We're not sponsored, but hi. It's a really good. I love this die. I've been trolling with it some. Not today though. But yeah, you continue your journey, and with a 2, the weather seems to want to behave.
Thank God.
It's
Yeah.
a clear and crisp day. You can see for miles in every direction, and the lake lies stretched in a far distance. A far distance away, I should say. Eventually, you hit night again. As the sun starts to set, you come upon the path again, and it seems to be somewhat traveled compared to previously. It's still like snowed over a bit, but you can see fresh prints leading away, and a little bit further down you see another small jetty with a couple of houses, and you see a somewhat large fishing vessel pulled up to it. Not as big as the ones down in Patraken, but it's much larger than the half-sunken boat that you found by the previous place. And you see a little bit of light shining out from one of the buildings. Do you want to continue, or do you want to stop here? You gather that you have a couple of more hours until sunset.
What are we thinking?
I'm good either way.
I mean, we shouldn't necessarily be traveling by night in the first place, and if we're not necessarily going, considering it takes some time to set up camp, considering we have more camp to set up now, I'd say we would make good on being prepared. Is there
Agreed.
anything in our surrounding we can, that would make for a better place to park our behinds, or no?
From what you can tell, my brain just stopped. From what you can tell from where you're standing, so about 50 or so yards or 50 meters from where you're standing to the east is this collection of houses, and then about maybe 100 meters ahead of you is what looks like a prepared campsite. It seems like this whoever lives here is used to people coming by and just like, hi, we would like to stay with you for the night, and they've set up like a camping spot so they don't have
On
to
the map are we, by the way? How far have we moved?
So you moved from Patraken, which is here. You see
So
a
essentially the
white
white
dot.
circle.
Yeah, the white circle is Patraken. You are currently roughly here.
That was my guesstimation on things. I was like, we should have
Yes.
moved about yay much, but at the same time, it's like I also have no idea.
You lost about half a day of travel in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of being a day out from the fishing village, you're about a day and a half. So
Yeah.
you know that camping here, you would need to camp one more night before reaching the fishing village.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like we're not going to, even if we're pushing it in a serious way, without risking anything from hypothermia to exhaustion,
Yeah.
not going to cut away that extra
No.
night of that extra camping night thing. No, so
No.
yeah. At which point, let's make camp.
All right.
Sounds
Camp,
like
camp, camp, camp.
Camp. All right. So, yeah, you set up camp. The campsite is recently cleared. You can see that someone has been out there shoveling away the majority of the snow and made even windbreaks out of it. So it's kind of like almost an entire circle with like an opening into the area itself. So you're sheltered from you're sheltered from the winds from the plains and the swamp and from the winds from the lake. And there's like a large ring of stone set up where you can start a fire, should you wish. Whoever's keeping watch, please roll me a perception check.
That would be us again, I think.
Uh-huh. Hey,
We're good at perception.
I mean, it's better than a kick in the nuts.
22.
Hey! Not bad, not bad. So, the night passes again, relatively uneventfully.
It passes again? Really?
I know.
Surely not.
You hear some weird sounds during the night, and the cloudless sky opens up once again to the stars, the planets, the tiny little dots that indicate the rotation of planets. Cat, make a decision, okay? And aside from the scurrying of nocturnal animals, nothing really happens. No nighttime visitors. You see at one point, Craren, when you start, get to watch the beginning of your watch.
I can't.
A older half-orc gentleman comes out of the house, walks over to you, looks over your tents for a moment, looks at you, raises a hand, and then walks back into the house, just checking who came by.
And Craren sees him approaching and just returns, wave, yeah, we're okay, kind of wave type-esque
Yep.
thing. More of a, yes, we're alive, we're safe kind of gesture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're here. That kind of a...
Yep, I see you, you see us. Ah, yeah.
Towards the end of your watch, Oren, you start noticing movement in the house, and an older half-orc gentleman comes out, waves to you, and then him and what looks like another half-orc man hop into the a bit larger boat and push it away from the jetty with an oar. And you can see, what you didn't see before, is that the boat seems to have it's not called sleds. What's this called? Almost like skis under it.
Okay.
That seems to like elevate it a little bit off of the ice, so they can push it into the water, and then you see them pull these skis into the boat. So it looks like
That is so cool.
Yeah, it looks like a construction made to be able to push this boat in and out from the jetty without damaging the boat.
Again, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's another clear, crisp day as you make breakfast, and
let's, for the sake of argument, call them ice rails to give
Yes.
them a name.
Yeah, so it's basically like wooden skis attached to a metal frame that can be hooked onto the boat to elevate it.
Excellent.
And yeah. You are currently a day and a half out. Well, you're currently a day's travel out from the village you're heading for. You gather that you'll probably reach it early the next morning, if not, unless something hinders you. So
Is that
you...
foreshadowing?
Huh?
Is that foreshadowing?
Yes.
No
It
foreshadow-
depends on
no.
what you roll. On that note, anyone want to roll me a d20, please?
Ah, twat.
Oh no.
No one wants to roll?
No one? Everyone's afraid of the dice.
I'm afraid of the dice.
I'll do it. Oh, no, Carnis has done it. There you go.
All right.
Blame me. No, wait. Blame Canada.
Yes.
It's always Canada 12.
Yes.
All right. As you keep traveling along the lake, turning eastward as the lake side curves, you notice that the sky once again starts turning cloudy towards the mid-afternoon, early evening. Clouds start coming in again, and while it is currently not snowing, the winds pick up, and it starts becoming a little bit difficult to see as snow is kicked up into your faces, into the mules' faces. the path is not more difficult to traverse, so you don't lose travel time, but visibility is a little bit more limited. You're having to rely more and more on the
Storm.
Huh?
Excellent. A storm.
Indeed. But you do manage to reach a relatively safe place to camp just as the sun is about to set, and you can see in the distance lights from a rather large settlement. You have the option here of either pushing it. You gather that you're maybe 3-4 hours out. So you can either push it and arrive in the middle of or towards the middle of the night, but risk exhaustion, or you can camp for the night and arrive fresh and rested.
Considering the size of this place, Craren would vote for let's camp, because there's no chance in hell anyone will open any doors for us at this hour.
Yes. Agreed.
All right. So you make camp. Anyone want to do anything, or shall we?
Do things? I don't
yes,
know.
like talking, hunting, fishing.
Could Oren set some snares to see if he can catch anything tasty for breakfast?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Give me a survival check.
Survival.
Yes.
Check that. That would be rolled with a +4. So no, that's a 7.
You set your snares, but unfortunately, in the morning, there's nothing in them.
Ah.
You go to check your snares, and there's nothing there. Yep.
Nah.
When that happens, Remus will fish out the handcuffs from his pack and chuck it at Oren and say, hopefully I will luck catching something with those.
Oren's just going to deadpan stare at you for about 20 seconds as his eyebrow slowly raises, and he smirks at you. As he's just, careful now.
Craren leans over to Oren's vat. Do you think that was his way of asking for a date?
I don't know, but I mean, he's not unattractive, I guess. And he's absolutely discussing this gladly in front of you. Like you're not there.
I nearly snorted the last of my water.
I mean, to be fair, Oren, you have regularly got naked in front of me at this point. I mean, we might as well be dating.
This is true. He just doesn't see nudity the same way as some people might.
Well, they were previously used on me by a female that visited Romulus and I in the middle of the night. She was killed quite explicitly by Romulus. So,
in my rage, I killed her.
Whoops.
Wow.
Right, Darth Sidious.
You had a whoopsie.
66.
Well,
That's...
I promise I will not use these on anyone who does not explicitly ask for me to do so first. At least
well, that will be an improvement on the last person who used them.
excellent.
All right.
That said, if you're willing, as he wiggles them, I will keep that in mind.
Wiggles what?
The handcuffs.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure something should be arranged.
And you think it's only the handcuffs that are jiggling?
Probably not.
I tried. All right. So,
I apologize. Oren is a bard.
When does Tiamat swoop down and kill us all?
unfortunately, Tiamat doesn't exist in this setting.
Oh, does it not? Does
Do you have a moment for our Lord and Savior?
Uh,
No, but don't forget, like, we've got this weird red dragon mummy thing that's still going to turn up at some point, I'm sure.
Oh god,
So,
yeah.
like,
That's true.
yeah.
So yeah. I'm guessing same as last night, Miss Sophie, and
Yes,
I'll try my very best.
Dinner for one of the best comedy sketches ever. So anyone want to roll a perception check for the night's
Yes,
watch?
that was what I was. Yes, I'm
Got him all
perceptive in
flustered.
understanding. In understanding, that was what I was about to. I opened the page and I was like, "There's something I'm supposed to do," and just drawing blanks. I was like, I had no idea what we're doing.
Yeah. I've been
I mean,
there
Oren,
all
if you play your
night.
cards right.
Huh?
What is this? What is this?
Nothing.
What's happening?
I don't know. My brain is on the fritz. Those two
So-
are as usual.
So something happens.
Yes.
Night, mostly.
Yes. Night mostly happens. At one point, Craren, during the night, you notice what looked like a rather large snow or a winter-coated hare hop up to a region that you know Oren was messing around with earlier, sniff around a bit, and then hop away. But oh yeah, and you also notice that the sky is now completely covered with clouds, and towards the end of your watch, snow starts falling. The wind starts like whirling around. It's pretty. It's fucking windy, okay? Again, my brain is just on the fritz right now.
I'm sorry.
Psycole sitting so still, I thought his camera froze. But the wind is just whipping around you at this point, and as it starts snowing around you, you can feel like these flakes hitting your face. And the snow starts falling thicker and thicker towards as you are handing over to Oren. All right then.
Cryer will also relay the information to Oren that
Oh no.
over there you might find some cottontail.
Oh.
Why? Why? I'm so
Oh,
glad I'm not
no.
showing dice cam. I'm so happy for that.
That's
mean-
great.
It happens. It happens. I can't laugh too hard because if I do, I go into a coughing fit
Same.
and I
Oh,
don't have any
sorry.
more water. But
So sorry.
yeah, no, don't apologize. It's
It's good.
hilarious.
I'm so happy no one has bothered to either pick up on what I said or carefully ignored what I said. I enjoy either of those options. Thank you, people.
You said
I-
cottontail over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I did.
I found it funny as well.
So, Oren,
Yes.
you take over the watch, and the snow is not falling thick enough to obscure your vision, but it is uncomfortable, as even in your protective sphere of warm air, it's just shooting through, and the snow is like needles.
Yeah, he is
Keeps
kind of
hitting your
punching like a
face.
wet bird right now.
Yeah. And it is very uncomfortable. You gathered that if you didn't have the fire, if you didn't have this warm air around you, you would be in for a very bad night. As it is, you're very uncomfortable, but not in any danger as you sit or stand or walk around to try and just keep away from the worst of it. Any exposed skin, while you're not freezing, you're still being pelted by needle-like snow.
Yeah, I think he starts working on crocheting, knitting, sort of mixed media yarn crafting the story blanket that he's been working on. He's currently, I think he's been keeping it pretty up to date every night, so he's, I think, currently working on the story of the the breakfast with the bandits, basically.
All right.
The next few squares are just going to be blank because of the snow.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Does it turn into like the temperature blankets? Have you seen those? Where
Yes,
you
I have
crochet
seen
and
those.
yeah.
I'm planning on working on one this year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like finally done, and then if Stitches could get angry, it's angry Stitches for this night. But yeah,
I think
This is
tonight's
fucking bullshit.
I think tonight's when he's done will be an empty snap. Actually.
Yeah, so towards the end of your watch, you go to check the snares to see if you caught anything for breakfast. And while it is very difficult to see, to even find the snares after the wind has kicked up a lot of the snow layer, you manage to find all of them, and they're all empty.
Yeah, big sigh, puts them back. Works on making a square of an empty snap and cooking breakfast, whatever they've got lying around. Probably something nice and hot.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably a meat-based dish, so probably, a dried meat stew with spices from his magical item to bring up the heat. So not burn your mouth off hot, but hot enough.
And because I noticed I have, for some weird reason, have not... is this the one I'm looking for? I have not uploaded the... Nope, that's not it. The map for the village that you're heading into.
Oh no.
For some reason. I have it here. But it's not in the same color code. I'm gonna quickly do that. I'm gonna quickly upload that one, but it's not the same.
One of these is not like the others.
The rest of
That's
you
fine.
eventually come to Remus and Romulus. You both wake up to like the tent. Well, Krern to the tents just flapping in the strong wind. That kind of weird canvas sound.
Yeah.
And the moment you step out of the relative protection of the canvas, you are immediately hit by the winds.
Brian
And
turns back inside and goes, guys, it fucking windy.
They wouldn't be.
it windy, yes. And you can see a very unhappy Oran just sitting there making a stew in the morning.
Yeah, once again.
I need to look no further. We're having this breakfast.
Once again, hunched over like a wet bird. Yeah.
But for the moment, a warm, wet bird.
Yes.
So, Craren, you seem to know a lot about Xandra from when we met up with those blue cloaks. I don't think we ever asked where you came from or why you're traveling with us.
Why are you here?
We've just accepted you for the best part of a week, moaned at you for not using fire against a tree, and then left you to be attacked and ravaged by a swarm of bats and rats.
And much like introductions, as I ran into you, as a gods, words are escaping me. As in player, I'm blanking on words. I have Swedish words, but that makes no sense.
All right.
I mean, if you said the Swedish, Adana might be able to translate.
Yeah. I'm choosing between backup and reinforcement and support because either one of those is förstärkning, which is that word means all of those things. And my brain is just blanking on which one it is that Derek sent Craren. But it's one of those. Yes, you're on a mission. You're on a lengthy mission. You're on otherwise missions. And considering it's diplomacy, information is important.
I'd say in this case you're wanting support more than the other ones.
That's the word. Yes. So, as mentioned on day one, Derek sent Craren out as a information support because they partly sending diplomatic messages back because diplomacy is a thing. Not just to Derek, just as we have a contractor who is not him. It's a larger play. And those diplomatic connections is really what Craren is here to entertain.
So you're some sort of diplomat?
Less of a diplomat and more of he's here to sow the seeds for people to understand.
He's a negotiator.
Essentially.
I thought that was...
Yeah.
I thought that was my role in the party. Aggressive negotiation.
No, more of selling the finer points.
I can do finer points. Like there's a sword that I can use occasionally, but I prefer the more blunt edges.
And that is fine, but at some point we need our convictees to remain alive, because if they can spread the good word of the deeds we're doing, then the people who are following after us, constructing bits, will be having an easier time.
Convincees.
Yes.
It's not convictees, because I was about to turn to Romulus and have a weird eye quirk moment as well. I was like,
that's the word I was looking for. I hope that no one caught it, but you did. So there you go. That's my dyslexia for you. It puts me into weird situations at times. It really does, and that's a player moment. That's a player moment. It really does get
I
me
love
into
it.
weird.
Yes.
I just said that. I just said that out loud. I meant to think that, not say it. I'm now in trouble.
Oh, you're
Story
not
of
in
my
trouble.
life.
You're not in trouble. Not yet.
Not
If-
before.
So to put some additional subtext into what you said, you're here to make sure that we don't kill everybody. And those people that we don't kill tell good deeds about us.
Yes.
And
That's
make sure that they are aware that what we are trying to do is the benefit for all of them.
Yes, which was why when we were purchasing things, we planted seeds on. We're doing this for the benefit of the area, just so they can, they can get traffic, they can get goods, they can get, peddlers doing things, trading can bloom, so on and such forth. Those are those small bits of deeds here and there. That's what I do.
Oh.
You do realise seeds normally grow better when they're in the ground, right? Rather than planted on people.
I realized that was a appropriatism of things. Let's see.
He was making a metaphor.
Cool.
That's not something you put liquid in.
A metaphor? I don't know,
Yeah.
but doesn't that come after a metaphor?
And
Maybe.
before.
Normally it does, yes. More of a by talking to people and making them realize the goods of we're doing, they can talk to people in their area. So the people we convince that we're the good people doing the good deeds of the Lord, they can talk to other people, furthering our investments in the area, so to speak. Laying down groundworks, let's call it, for diplomatic relations between our contractor and people of the lands. Because much like I think we all will know, if we barge in and erect buildings in where people are living, they can be upset. And we like to avoid friction if we can.
I guess we avoid friction. Some friction's fun.
I had a feeling you were going to make a comment like that about friction. I knew it was coming. I knew.
And Oren, we can arrange that kind of friction if your heart so desires. But that's not my primary reason for being with you guys. I hope this clarifies my position.
I mean, we could talk about positions.
Naturally.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you. I'm not going to lie. Most of what you've just said has gone completely.
You let me know if I'm taking that too far, boys.
No, you're not quite taking it far enough. There's more inches to go.
Several.
There's been enough innuendo in this session alone to cover the fact that we haven't really done a lot in the first 13 sessions of this series. I do think our dynamite needs a class a smut warning underneath after this.
Nah, I mean, this
You
whole
are
channel
playing the
is
bot.
rated 18 plus for a reason. I don't care. As long as we don't actively describe the act, I don't care.
Yeah, no. You're playing with a bard, but if you need me to tone down the bard, please just red or orange light me, and I will know to tone it down.
Red rocket, red rocket, red rocket.
Yes.
All right.
Though that means something else.
So, anything
Well,
else you
that's
want to
straightforward.
do before you set off towards your destination? You're still about 3-4 hours out, with the wind still going strong. It's gonna be uncomfortable.
I mean, it should be manageable.
It's gonna be manageable, but extremely uncomfortable. And all of you have the sensation that the only thing that keeps it from going from uncomfortable to nearly unbearable is there's somewhat shelter of the canvas of the cart. Well, actually, two things: the canvas of the cart and the heat cube, because the mules are not protected.
Speaking of the mules, today Aaron is going to work on. Have you seen the little ear cozies that you put on, like the little caps that you put on horses?
Yes.
I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to say a whole woolly. I thought you were going to talk about woolly.
Woolly sweaters.
No.
A woolly onesie for the donkeys.
Not quite. Not quite.
That would take a while.
Yeah, but no, he's going to work on the head cap, some head caps for those donkeys to try and keep their little ears warm.
Yeah.
Now I've just got a mental image of a donkey in a onesie.
I really want to see that,
no.
but
Let's Google. No, hold on. I'll get the AI to work. That's what that's for.
I'm going to check to see if it's not been AI generated yet. Let me in a onesie.
A photo would be excellent. An actual
There's donkey
photo.
onesies, but not a donkey in a onesie.
Okay, donkey in a onesie makes me think of a Don Quixote kind of mule.
I mean, there is this, which is not AI.
Yep. But yeah, it takes you roughly 3.5 hours to hit the outskirts of what looks like a rather sprawling village. It's not as nearly as big as Patraken was, and it doesn't have like gated walls around it. So and apparently it's not going to be black and white because I haven't finished that yet. I haven't done that yet, which is an oversight by me. But from where you come up, you're on the wrong part of the map, but it doesn't really matter. You come around the your. Hello, can we? There we go. You would be coming up here-ish to this fishing village, where most of the boats seem to have left the harbor or pier at this time. And you can see most of the houses have thatched roofs that are currently covered in a thick layer of snow. Most of the trees, even though it doesn't reflect that on the thing, because snow in Incarnate is a little bit of a pain.
Oh no.
Most of the trees are of an evergreen variety and are currently bowing slightly with the weight, and the lake itself seems broken up and jagged from all the ships coming in and out of the small harbor area or pier area. From where you approach, you see what looks like a large silo thing to the north of you, and what looks like yes, Oren is currently just moving around, and ahead of you you see a bunch of what looks like residential houses. Aside from the silo that looks like a grain silo, Claire and Oren are currently playing Snake on the map. For those of you who have never played Snake, I'm sorry that you missed that part.
Snake.
Snag.
It's a badger.
I was waiting for that one. So, as you're standing, I know we are a little bit silly today. As you're standing,
I mean, we have, in one of your earlier comments right at the beginning of the session, and you talk about the fact that we've thrown Noir completely out the window.
yes,
I think this is definitely the least Noir session we've
Yes.
had so far.
yes.
Apologies.
I mean, there's a circle of Noir. It's just like where you start at broad daylight and then you go into the abyss at the other end, and then much like any other circle, you emerge at the other end, and then it's daylight again.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm terribly sorry. What?
Yes, you approach the village, and then you hear a voice call out
Do we
towards.
see village people?
Yes, you see village.
That's me. I didn't do it.
Well, technically, you don't see anyone yet. You hear a "Who goes?" from somewhere in this village.
Oh.
We come in peace. We're merely traveling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
Right.
Ooh, sorry. Go on, Karen.
I
We
should point out if we have arrived here in this place, Oren is once again Nana Knits.
Okay. All right. Psycole, you were saying?
No, I will leave it over to Romulus. Sorry, I started yawning when I was trying to say something, but
Okay.
Romulus is in charge.
Yes, Romulus.
am I? No, I wasn't prepared for this type of responsibility. We came from insert village from south.
Patraken.
That's the one. And we've been battling through snow over the last few days to get here. We've only just arrived.
Right.
We mean no harm or anything such. We're merely traveling.
Right. You're new here, right? Yeah.
Very.
From behind this large, like from this corner, steps a rather short-looking figure. Not short enough to be a dwarf, but on the short end of human, maybe elf. Hard to tell. Their hood is up, and you see a thick fur-lined cloak just wrapped. Under it, you see what looks like well-made but simple, like leather pants and leather armor. And the figure is holding a heavy crossbow in hand and aimed straight towards the cart. Just your general direction. You can't really tell, like any facial features are covered by a scarf that is up to and covering the nose. So all you see is, and there's what looks like a knitted beanie of some sort covering most of the head. So you only see like this part of the face. But holds up this heavy crossbow towards you.
No need to use the pointy bits, friend. We're more traveling in what's communications, if you wish. Transport might be a different word.
Huh.
Oh yeah, we've been traveling for a while.
No, let's get out of the wind. Follow me. I have a place for your beasts as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Excellent.
put that through us, right? That crossbow.
No, I
Alright.
I have no reason to. If you
Oh,
don't attack me,
Wrong voice.
I won't attack you. And if you deal in information, you might be able to help.
Also
Excellent.
wrong voice because
Works
she'd be
for us.
Nana Knits right now.
Yes.
He'd be Nana Knits right now. Just so. Yes. Good, dearie.
Where
Just point that down a little, please.
he puts the heavy crossbow down, still holding it, still at the ready, but pointed down to the ground. Just, let's talk
Thank
out
you,
of the
dear.
snow.
Of course.
And he
No,
walks
naturally.
over again towards the other end of this same building. And
Where's this creature you're talking about? You're
let
pinging
me.
the map.
Yeah, ping on the map. He was here.
Yes, I'm going to assume that he has some features,
Yes, let me grab a guy from.
aka token.
I'm gonna grab one of these guys. Doesn't really have a token because I haven't uploaded this map.
Less
click,
important, but
click,
it's
click,
more
click.
of a.
There we go.
It is general something.
Yes. So there he is on the map. And then he walks over to this corner, turns around and looks at you, expecting you to follow.
Donkey.
Yes. And as you turn the corner, you see that it what looks like a L-shaped building, like the thatched roof continue in a square, but the building itself is like L-shaped, and part of it has been converted or changed over into what looks like a makeshift form of stables. So somewhere out of the wind and snow
Sorry, cat.
for mules. Inside it, you see a horse that seems to be half dozing, half munching on something. And just outside, like around the corner, you see a cart that is clearly drawn by a single horse. But that said horse is in the stable region. There's space for your mules in here. It's a little bit tight, but they'll fit out of the wind. But the cart has
Excellent.
to be outside.
Very fair.
And after seeing to that the mules have been taken care of, the man leads you over to a door and holds it open for you.
Excellent.
And through it, you can see what looks like a very simple kitchen and a door that leads kitchen and what looks like a wooden bench of some sort, a small table with a couple of chairs, and a door that seems to be leading further into the building itself.
Excellent.
And yeah, he starts taking the layers of clothing off, and you can hear the whistling of wind around the corners, and you can and this soft crackling of a fire. Looking around, you don't really see a fireplace, and then you see this small stove, like metal stove in a corner that seems to be crackling with fire.
Thank fuck it
So-
was crackling from fire and nothing else.
I know,
Yes.
right?
So
Breaking.
Oren will probably sit down by the fire and pull out, pull out his two knitting needles and make a show of starting to knit something.
All right.
What I think the rest of you guys know at this point is that those knitting needles are probably sharper than they need to be. But yes, he's just he's taken the role of Nana Knits again, which he does in any town.
Romulus, please give me a
Hello.
perception check.
This is the inside of a house.
Mhm.
No, just saying that those are things you might perceive.
Yes. It didn't hit you until the pelting of ice needles and the unrelenting wind stopped. But you've been feeling a kind of tingling sensation all across your skin from the moment you started approaching this village.
Oh no.
And you start feeling almost like a kind of excitement bubbling in the back of your mind. And a restless kind of energy.
I mentally connect with Remus. Let him know. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna find the closest thing I can get to a fidget toy.
There are several looking around, especially near the stove. You see bits of wood that you would use to feed the stove with, like this long, this wide, that you can easily twirl in your fingers. Yes.
Would I be observing him trying to find something to fiddle with? Would it be obvious that he's looking for something to do?
I just go on full on autistic, just like just start stimming.
Okay. All right.
Because if that's the case, he would saddle up next to you. Just, would you like me to teach you how to knit or crochet, dearie? It would keep your hands busy.
Yeah.
And he would pull out a hook, I think, or two hooks, one for himself, one for you. And he'd start to teach you the most basic thing, which it would be a granny square.
Yeah.
And I also relay to, I relay to everyone what is kind of happening, just so that everyone's in the know how. So just be vigilant.
Yep. You get a slight side eye from the man who's now completely hung his cloak up to dry and just removed the scarf and all of that. And you see a, for lack of a better term, weathered man. Like scars across his face, sun-scarred skin, slightly matted hair with gray streaks in it. And Romulus, you would have seen this during your time of incarceration. A very determined set to his whole feature. Like, this guy knows what he is about. 100%. And you get a very clear sensation of, or feeling of, he would not have hesitated to shoot all of you with that crossbow. But you also see a streak of concern. Don't really need that high of insight to see that he's concerned about something, and looks around a bit and, you want something strong? I have hot water, coffee. I have, think the moonshine's still alright. Should be still alright. I can pour the moonshine in the coffee if you want. There's also some bread, I think, somewhere. Might have turned into hardtack by now.
I'm quite alright, dear, but if you want some spice for your coffee, I can provide that.
Spice? Alright. I'm putting on some coffee. If you want some, grab a mug. This might take a while, since you're outsiders. Putting my hand out here. He walks over to a cabinet, pulls out what looks like a large flask of some sort, like a leather and rope bound, like huge bottle. Uncorks it, goes to reach for a mug. Well, he reaches for a mug, grabs it, pours it, like fills it all the way up, holds it out, just offering the bottle to anyone who wants to grab it. And just clonks it on the table, takes a big gulp of it, and sits down.
Q holding Remus back.
I think Remus is more interested in the coffee at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. And Nana Nits will come up with his spice pouch and sprinkle some cinnamon and
nice.
Maybe a little bit of clove into the coffee.
Ooh, nice.
To give it
That's
a
really
nice aromatic smell and flavor.
Yeah. It takes maybe a couple of minutes for the scent of cinnamon, cloves, and coffee to spread throughout this small house. It's not small enough to be a hut, but it's not big enough to be like a proper house. And the whole time, this guy seems to be like taking you all in, thinking to himself a bit, and just...
You seem concerned.
How good are you at solving problems?
Oh, my boys here are very smart.
I like to think we're a pretty capable bunch.
So, not sure how much you know about this place. Now we are a fishing village. We're also a trade station for Bayersk ore. Mine it out there. And he points to the lake. It's a mine. People die in mines. People leave this place. People vanish. It's a thing.
It seems arduous.
It was.
So,
Is. Was worse. Is better now. Or until recently.
Oh?
One of the people in charge turned up dead yesterday. Not in the mine.
Oh.
Is that so?
Where were they found?
Oh, they were found on the main street.
I take it the main street is this
Yeah, it's
bigger.
if you ask, he just points. Oh, it's house that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Did they have any?
Player observation will be one of those. Yeah. Main street.
Yeah, it's yeah. You walked in and it's like trampled animal paths, basically. It's a street in the same way as a mud hovel has a floor.
Did they have any like obvious wounds or trauma on their persons?
It's kind of hard to tell.
Okay,
Oh.
reassuring.
How do you mean?
Well, he died from stabbing.
Okay.
It's how many times. That's the problem.
Ah.
All of us, and he points a bit to his face, like, are a bit marked, if you will, by our time here, so to speak.
Well, there's no shame in it.
Now, before I send a bunch of people who kindly walked into my home at my invitation, before I get you all in trouble,
Go on.
have any of you heard of the where did I put the full name of this damn thing?
I have not heard of that one. No.
Oh, you shit.
Okay. Have any of you heard of the Blackwater Lake mine and incarceration complex? Mining and
No.
incarceration complex.
Which point? History check collectively?
Yes. Yeah. Anyone can roll a history check.
My history is not great.
I mean,
It's a history +0, so.
Rebus knows. Fuffle.
Raven smash.
Ah.
I thought it was a lake. How can you have a prison on a lake? No, I'm joking.
So Romulus, you've heard it in passing. It was kind of a boogeyman situation. Prison somewhere way out there, somewhere to the north when you were in Sharn. Craren, with a 22, you know that this complex was one where a lot of criminals were sent. The type of the more crafty variety, like enforcers, violent crime, the ones that hadn't done enough to be sent to feed the war machine, but had done enough to not be able to be in regular prisons. It was also a experiment because a very expensive substance known as Bayersk ore had been found in this region. And
It's a fucking beer.
it's not Bayersk, it's Byersk. Bayersk.
Fair.
It's a very
Confused the fuck out of me.
It's a very hardy metal that takes easy, like it takes easy to enchantments. So it's an ore that it's very easy to create enchanted weapons out of, or enchanted armor. It is heavily controlled by, normally heavily controlled by the daughters of Sorakel, because it's most commonly found in Droam, but there was some found here in the Shadow Marshes, which during the time of the war was a neutral area. The Shadow Marshes were not involved in the war more than the House Tharask sent mercenaries to whoever paid well. Or whoever needed to find people, like deserters or similar. But towards the end of the war, the people like, shit, we can't really... or towards the middle and end of the war, they were like, shit, we can't send all these violent criminals to the war effort, so we'll send them to the mines instead. And...
So, Fantasyland, Australia.
basically. With a 22, you also know that most of the prison complex is, like, all of it is under the lake. There is a... you don't know the floor plan of it, but you know that it starts, like, the first level of it is under the lake, like the bottom of the lake. And it was... the nickname for it is the Isle of Sin.
Sounds like a good metal band name.
Yes.
And it does.
It's my latest new metal band name.
I love it.
And it went quiet when the last war ended.
What?
Apparently not.
Underwater prison going silent. That doesn't
I
sound
mean,
really-
okay, so criminals, by whose standard?
Legal system.
Says who?
So the people that appeared dead on the main street, they were meant to be in that prison, correct?
Well, you see, when that whole thing with the fighting kind of went hits up, if you will, most of the guards that lived here fucked off.
Oh.
So how
And
many people live? Well, is this like a ghost town now, practically, or are there still people?
I wouldn't say ghost town, no.
Okay.
Because when the guards fucked off,
Up and off.
we broke out. They left us in the prison underwater.
Yeah.
I understand now. Okay.
Mhm.
It may not look it, but I kind of know what that's like. Being in a
Right,
cell.
right. Oh, so.
Okay, that.
No,
That's interesting.
I'm not gonna pretend I'm innocent. I haven't killed anyone. I can tell you that much. I have punched a few people. Sent a couple to the hospital. That they sent me here. I liked it here. Got food, got a room. Long work hours, but it was fine. Didn't really like the idea of drowning if the roof caved in.
Mm.
So when they opened the
Very bad,
cells,
yeah.
the other ones, I left with them. Now
That,
we mine.
that seems reasonable.
Now we
Yeah.
mine for us. We sell the ore. We sell some stuff. We fish. People trade with us. It's fine.
So you're currently a self-governing body.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, locally, as in, you're governing yourselves. You're not necessarily vassals for the crown.
no. No, so Silence is the one who's in charge of this operation. She's the one who led the whole breaking out bit. Crazy bitch, that one. Wonderful leader. Do not cross her. But
Wasn't intending to, dear.
good. Like I said, crazy bitch, that one.
Now, before you went inside, you said something about information.
Right. I want to know who killed that guy. Because he was Silence's right-hand man.
Okay.
And before someone
When
calls
did
in...
this happen?
Well, we found him yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday evening.
Had he been missing?
No.
Can we have a look at the body, examine him, if there's anything of note that might have been missed, or has that process just been and gone?
Oh, no.
Disposed of.
Well, he's somewhere. I think
You
they
didn't
put him
feed him to
in...
the pigs or anything, dear.
They might have put him downstairs, actually, because there are several areas there where you can keep someone and stop him from rotting.
I get what you mean. Okay.
So...
Does someone here prevent him from rotting? Are you freeze drying him?
No, but, well, it's kind of a thing. When we were working down there, if someone died, they chucked us in the lake. So we don't do that anymore. We bury them.
Oh,
But
very fair.
the ground is a little bit clank. So we have to wait for it to thaw.
So you're having him cold.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Do you have any suspicions as to who could have done this?
None of us are crazy enough to do that.
Okay.
Because crazy bitch.
Where do you know where the last time he was seen alive?
I saw her that morning, maybe?
Can DM ping on the map where the body is located right now?
The body is not located on the map right now. It's out in the lake. So, well, he said downstairs. If you ask him, he's gonna say in the mines, because there's a space where they can put them there. But it's not on the map itself.
Craren is wondering, considering he died, what was it, yesterday?
Yeah.
Craren is curious if he can talk to the body.
You should be able to, yeah. As
Okay.
long...
Okay. And whereabouts did you see him? Like, where was he? By the lake? Was he?
Oh no, he was over at the alehouse tavern.
Was he with anyone?
You were saying this person was in charge of everything?
Oh, no. So, Silence is the one in charge.
Right.
Me thinking, Sarid was her right-hand man, like a lieutenant or whatever you want to call it, running errands for her and such. Silence usually is kept downstairs in the mines. Sarid runs things up here. Bit more easy on the eyes when people came by.
Understood.
So was he with anyone when you last saw him, or was he on his own? Did he look like he was acting strangely? Did he look as normal as he would normally do?
He was a little sketchy, but he was always a little sketchy. Like, bit twitchy. Probably on some substances that he no longer got. Well, it's a little twitchy, little, sketchy. Great guy. Always, would have trusted him in a fight any day. Always the one pulling back when Silence went a little bit too far with the demands of work and such. Don't get me wrong, great boss, but she's crazy.
Do you know what she did to be here?
I know the rumors.
Okay.
Rumors say she was some form of assassin.
Oh.
Don't think so. I think she was like a bouncer or a bodyguard or an enforcer of sorts. She's big and bulky and strong. And I mean, I've seen her knock a guy out of the door with those horns of hers. It's
What?
Oh yeah, sorry, tiefling. Silence is a tiefling.
Okay.
Don't see many of them here at
No,
all.
you do not. Interesting.
But yeah, she big horn. Big lady.
Gotcha.
Good looking, I guess. Scarred to all hells. Some form of bodyguard or enforcer or problem solver.
Should be hard to miss them.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Most of us here are humans, half orc, half elf, orc. She's the only tiefling that I know of. So, and she's red. So, kind of hard to miss.
Oh.
Gotcha. And where is the entrance to downstairs if we wanted to go and examine
Take a look.
Right.
the body? Once we get a look at him, then I'm sure we can get a stronger idea of who could have done this and what we can do to fix this. Well, not fix it.
Right. No, yeah.
You get what I mean.
I get you. So, obviously, you're not doing this out of the goodness of your hearts, because that's not how the world works. I can pay. Because I like it here. I want to be here. This is my home. So, find out who killed this person. Or find out who killed Sarid. And tell me, I'll give you 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
Find out who killed Sarid and deal with it before someone sends marshals from a nearby city to come investigate and bother us again. And bring proof. I'll give you 200 gold pieces.
Okay.
Bring their head, 250.
Noted. We have had some experience with dealing with problems like this. So I think we can figure something out.
That would be
Yes.
stellar. Now,
And
small.
are we meant to be? Are we doing this like secretively? Will people know that we're going to be about, or would you like us to kind of keep very much on the down low?
If you can keep a low profile, you will be noticed.
Oh yeah.
The whole
need-
village already know that you're here.
Okay.
Because it's small village, people talk.
Yep.
Especially people of our community like to know who comes and goes.
Craren, not just Remus in the ribs, just going, no skull splitting. We need the head.
One thing we gotta pay attention
Okay.
to. If the killer is
Talk.
aware that we are here, we gotta be as the opposite of suspicious as possible. To not discreet, that's the word. We've got to be discreet as possible. Because otherwise they might
Remus
They
puts his
might-
brain back to sleep for the day.
they might start getting suspicious of us, and that could lead to our lives becoming a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Discreet was a good word because the only thing that came to my brain was auspicious, and that's entirely different. I mean, we want to be, auspicious in that sense, surely, but
I have concerns. Just a few. It's fine.
good. You should.
All right.
Okay.
Where did that thing go? There it is. Okay. And as long as people don't think you're cops, you're fine.
Well,
We
we're
don't
definitely-
like guards here, in general.
We're as far from cops as you can possibly get.
I mean,
I mean, I am anyway. I don't know about you guys. I don't know whereabouts you guys are on the spectrum.
I mean,
pretty good.
player bit. Craren has motivations, obviously, as do all of you. Everyone has motivations. He's just on the side of the law that he feels that whoever writes the law that suits me the most right now is the one I like to follow.
Hmm.
So,
If that means I have to write them myself,
There, dear. There.
I'm always up for a little bit of a murder mystery, though. No, I thought I'll be on this side of the.
that's a good job. Bastian is not with us. That's all I am saying.
Oh,
He would have solved it by now, and that would have been no fun.
He'd have sold us and then yelled at us for being incompetent or naughty.
or set the whole
And ask
village
the
on
service.
fire for being a village full of criminals.
Yes, or then
Okay,
ask us to help
that's
arrest the whole place. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he might have an aneurysm if he's not careful.
and that sort would have the nerve of accusing us to be troublesome. Really, mass murdering fuckhead is what it would be.
Yeah, it would be.
And that lads would make him one of us.
Yay.
So, if anyone asks, I don't know how to swing it. Just come up with something and
We're merely passing through, and
yeah.
something simple, but too much.
I can
thought into
break
it,
a
it'll look
cartwheel
suspicious.
for you. So you have to wait to get it fixed.
Can it be fixed? here?
Yeah, we have a carpenter.
Oh,
Or whatever
wonderful.
cart makers are called. I don't know the English term for that.
Uh,
Huh?
That's a good question. Now that because you mentioned it's like any name of any profession no longer resides in my head.
Yep.
It would be a wheelwright that would deal with the
Thank you.
car.
We do have a. Well, he can make wheels and make chairs and basically anything. He's good at making wheels. I know that because he's
Okay.
fixed my cart a few times.
That could be. We could
Something,
use.
something, fix your little
But
red wagon.
really, if anyone asks, just say that you're helping Rust with something that's none of their business. Name's Rust, by the way. Hi.
Romulus.
Nana. Nana.
Russ just looks at you for a moment as if it now clicks that, hey, there's an old lady here. What the actual hell? It just looks at you like... I am not going to ask. Nope, don't want to know.
Probably for the best, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Let's face it. Even if you were to ask, consider this. We've come all this way.
Yep. None of my business. If you've survived that weather...
Actually,
You're
at
one.
this point, I think he's going to not change anything about his demeanor, but just go, probably best you don't, mate.
Right. Well, from what I can see, all of you will fit right in. Again, if someone asks, you're helping Rust with something that's none of their business.
Noted.
I don't think
Excellent.
anyone will actually ask, aside from you being strangers and all that, but you're staying in my house, so...
True.
Please
So, I
don't
think
start anything that will bring guards here.
We all just look to the rest of the barbarian.
I don't care if you fight. Don't set fire to anything.
And we look to the resident wizard. So I think first protocol would be how do we get into the basement, the underground?
Yes. Yes, I was about to ask that as well.
Right. So
Date with the corpse.
if you walk
That's
down,
a sentence I've now said.
so you walk down towards the east side of the docks.
Mhm.
There is a squat building with round thatch roof with wooden beams on it. Walk in through that door, there's a spiral staircase that leads down. You're gonna get dizzy, so hold on to something.
Gotcha.
At the end of that is a ladder, because the staircase broke.
How far down is this?
Takes about 15 minutes to get there with the
15 minutes of
ladder.
walking. So in comparison, so I'm getting with the prison I was at in Shan. Is that like more like a tower sort of thing? Or was it-
With how Sharn is built, it's
Yeah.
built out of towers all the way around, and the place you were in was slightly outside, but would have like a squared tower thing to it, and so it would be taller
Mhm.
than possibly other places. You're not all that familiar with the layouts of other places, but Sharn being a city of towers, yours was where you were also a tower with a lot. It was like
Okay.
taller, but also narrower than what you would expect like other large complexes to be.
So would this be like the equivalent to that high but into the ground, or would it be deeper
This
than that?
being a
Out of
mine,
curiosity?
I'd say this being a mine as well, you get the sensation it's probably more spread out. Still, still not as spread out as to lose sight of the inmates, but spread out and probably not as tall. You're not sure how much it would be, but being a mine that was operational for a while, a few floors at least into the ground. Right, so you go in there, mind the elevator. That one's for ore. It's not big, but it works. Spiral staircase down. You get to the ladder. At the end of the ladder is what remains of the stairs. And yeah, you will see the elevator thing the whole way down to where the stairs are. Go down the stairs and you're in the complex. Now, when you get there, find Silence before you do anything else. She does not take kindly to people wandering without announcing themselves.
Where would we likely find her?
She has a office at the center of the first floor. Mind your step down there. It's very busted.
Gotcha.
And dark. Very dark.
Okay.
I'd bring
And-
a torch.
And should we tell her that we're helping figuring out this, or should we stick to? Can she be the only other person who will know about all this other than you, or should we keep her out of the loop? Well, if we dare risk it.
If you think you can get away with it, don't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you cannot get away with it, don't lie. She doesn't really have a temper, but she's vindictive.
Okay.
And she doesn't like it when people lie to her.
Noted. Okay.
But, hey, she might even know someone who knows something.
Okay. Well.
And then again, not. She's basically the mayor of this town.
All that being said, then, shall we, if we are ready, take a trip downstairs?
Sure.
I mean, is the weather still as piss poor as it was before?
You look outside and the snowing has stopped. The wind is still a bitch, but the snowing has stopped.
At least at that point, it might actually be dry when we arrive.
All right, so you're making your way over to the building with the staircase?
The building with the
Which
staircase.
I'm guessing is this one here.
It's this one, right there.
Nice.
Meow. And then you're there.
Yes.
Naruto teleport.
Eos is like,
No, I
Eos
feel
is like, I can walk myself. Damn you. Hello, guys, and welcome on in. And I hope they had a great stream, and thank you so much for the raid. I was going to raid you, but you got there first, so hi. Hi, gas and party. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We are about to wrap up here, so I'm sorry about that, but we're gonna put you over to someone else. I think we're gonna go to Jarls today. Scare the shit out of him because I can. So yeah, you wander over to the building described. Like I mentioned, the wind is the same, but the snowing has stopped, so you're no longer pelted by ice needles, pretending to be snow.
Wonderful weather.
Yes. Unfortunately, your cube of warmth only slightly helps with the wind. It's
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, but it's that weird sensation of warm air mixed, like when you open a window in the winter and your warm air is suddenly assaulted by cold wind.
I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Terris, but winter is the thing where it's cold outside.
I know what winter is. We get winter here to some extent. Especially when I'm winterizing the pool and fall into it.
I know, I'm just being difficult. I'm sorry.
You make your way down the spiral staircase with the it's like a large metal basket in the center, held together with a chain on what looks like some form of winching mechanism at the bottom that just loops around and goes all the way down into the darkness. And as you loop and loop and loop, eventually, after starting to see double because of all the loops of the spiral staircase, you get to the ladder that is metal ladder that has been bolted into what looks like a stone brick wall. It's not that tall, but it clangs into the top of a broken up stone staircase. And the stone staircase gives the illusion or image of having at some point connected to the spiral one, but at this something broke in between. And I need to put 2 of you on the map because the other 2 are already there. As you make your way down the staircase, the light overhead completely vanishing, you are met by a bluish glow. And stepping off the staircase, you stare into a hallway. To the right of you, a blue flame is crackling along something. And yeah, I think Oren, you're the one with best visibility. You can see lights at the furthest ends of it, blue and yellow lights mingling. And as you step off the last stair, Romulus, in your mind you hear, I have been wanting to visit for so long.
You've been here before? You know
Oh no, not here, but I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Mm.
From who?
Secrets. Maybe if you ask nicely and give me a gift. I'm not gonna tell you yet, though. Bye bye.
I mentioned it to the guys. She knows something. She wants something for this information. And that thing's probably got blood in it.
Oh no.
But I'm more curious, who did she hear this information from? She says she's always wanted to visit.
Hello, second raid. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you guys so much.
Does she have access to like a social network?
Maybe
What is this, like Truth or whatever?
in this dark, damp hallway, deep under the black water lake,
Oh, it's Dank
With-
Book.
more questions that need answering. That is where we're going to be wrapping the session.